Testing, testing, 1, 2. Okay.
Check 1, 2.
And
Good
now
evening
I'm
and
live.
good Shabbos.
Good evening and good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom. Wonderful to see so many of you here. Welcome to everyone who's here in person. welcome to everyone who is joining us by live stream. We will begin with those very words, how good it is to be together. Hine ma tov, page 10.
Hine ma tov u'mana'im shevet achim gam yachad. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'mana'im shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'mana'im shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. Shalom aleichem, salam aleikum. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov u'mana'im shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'mana'im shevet achim gam yachad.
Again, welcome everyone. We'll begin welcoming Shabbat with candlelighting. Happy Pride Shabbat. Thank you to everyone who turned out in Pride gear. And I just wanted to give a special warm welcome. I'll introduce them later to our guest speaker, Andrew Kagan, who is going to, there'll be more later about that, who will be addressing us for Pride Shabbat. And welcome to that kid that's sitting in the back over there by Cindy, being inconspicuous, Jonah Gottfried, who said, sure, I'll go with you to services tonight, Ema. So, yay, he made it. It was the absolute last opportunity, and that tracks. That's the baby, yeah. Okay, so now it is a special privilege to invite Rabbi Lebo and Madeline up to light the candles, and Rabbi Lebo is going to offer a blessing for inclusion as well. So we'll begin with page 2 and light these lights.
Hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say amen.
Well, it's kind of a Zen experience. Just imagine. Imagine if they're lit.
Is it, it's the air? Oh, no, this is every week.
Really?
I would recommend the match.
We got one match.
Okay, we can do light these lights again. It's like a stall, you know.
I could do my reading if you like. Yeah.
Oh, Rabbi Lebo is going to do the stall.
So a horse walks into a bar. The bartender looks up and everybody says, "Hey, why the horse face?"
Never mind. Oh, yeah, there's one. I don't think that
On
thing
this
works.
Shabbat, as we gather to celebrate Pride and pray together, we take a moment to reflect on why some people and connections are respected or recognized by law, while others are not. May our community honor our diversity, including trans folks, single people, friendships, interfaith unions, and all kinds of relationships. In the spirit of Oh, I'm pretty loud. In the spirit of Tikkun Olam, we hope and pray for more inclusion. May the day soon arrive when respect and civil rights are freely granted, regardless of who we are or how we choose to live our lives. Baruch atah, Baruch at Ya Eloheinu Ruach Haolam, Asher kidshanu b'mitzvotecha v'tzivanu li'adov tzedek u'lechabed kol nefesh v'shutafut. You are blessed, O God, Spirit of the world, who makes us holy with your mitzvot and commands us to pursue justice and honor all people and relationships. And let us all say,
Amen.
Can I just say one thing in honor of Pride Shabbat?
Yeah.
Yes. We are joined tonight by Judge Stephen Schuster, who's a longtime member of this congregation. Judge Schuster did the first same-sex union recognized in Cobb County. So we don't forget that.
Thank you. Okay. And now that the candles are lit, we will say the blessing. Page 2.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thanks, Madeline. And now we'll welcome Shabbat, the Shabbat bride, with Lecha Dodi, pages 20 and 21.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmi'anu el hamichad Adonai echad shemo echad Hashem tiferet v'litzila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lekuven elcha ki mekor haberacha mirosh mikem nisucha sof machaseh b'matchavat shechila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Hitoreri, Kiva Orech Gumiore, Uri, Shedaveri, Tifod Adonai, Alalek Negla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela.
We rise.
Holy v'shalom ateret ba'ala, Kam b'simcha v'tzokula, Toch emudei am segula, Holy kala, Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela.
So I'm glad that you all sat down and everyone's comfortable. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to rise, but I also wanted to welcome some of the people who came on Jewish time. We're glad that you made it. It doesn't matter when you walk through the door. I just really, I got to see that you were arriving just as everybody was standing up to turn around, and so now that you are here and everyone has bowed at you at your arrival, welcome. I was also informed by the lovely Ms. Vivian that we've run out of song sheets, which is amazing. It's great to have such a wonderful turnout. So if you do not have one of these, and you are sitting next to someone, please raise your hand if you need a song sheet. And then if you are in the vicinity of someone who already can share, yes, let's spread them around. Fantastic. I actually absconded with Vivian's song sheet, so you're going to share with Lenny? Okay, excellent. That's so I can tell you when to consult the song sheet. So, okay, it's all good. Are there more that you know about? Oh, you don't need to make some more. We're all gonna get cozy and be in. Okay. Yes. All right. Good. Now that we're all here, that was my commercial break. Oh, forget it. Cynthia already went to make more or something. I mean, you can't keep the staff down in this room, you know. Okay. So we're going to be changing things up a little bit, and we were going to go directly from Lecha Dodi right into the evening service. And now that we've got all of that sorted, the first song, and maybe you don't need the words because we do it often, the first song on the song sheet that we'll be singing is Thou Shalt Love. And so now, if you are able, and if you don't want to rise just yet because we're going to be standing for a bit, I like to stand. So we rise in body or in spirit for the Reader's Kaddish on page 26.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah V'yalma divrach irutei V'yamlich malchutei V'chayechon uv'yomechon Uv'chayei kol beit Yisrael Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, Vimeru, Amen. Yeishmei Rabbah Mevorach, Leolam Leomaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpar v'tumam v'naseh, V'tadar, v'talev, v'talal, Shemei Kudesha B'richu, Le'olamim kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran v'yama, V'meru, Amen.
Page 28.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Page 34, remain standing for the first lines of Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. Thou shalt love in the song sheet.
Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. Thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, when thou risest up, when thou risest up. Thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. Thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye shall remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
And now we have a very special version of Micha Mocha. It's called Praying with Our Feet, Micha Mocha, by Micah Lapidus. And I actually don't know this one, so I'm hoping it's easy to sing along, and Blake is going to lead us. I know that we did it last year. And part of this, of course, is it's Rabbi Heschel, Abraham Joshua Heschel, is quoted, I don't know if it's misquoted or attributed to having said that when he was walking with Dr. Martin Luther King in Selma, when he was walking across the bridge, walking for civil rights, that he was praying with his feet. And so that phrase is meant to say, it's not just talking the talk, right? But we walk the walk. So we don't only pray for full inclusion and diversity and love in our hearts, but when we see that there is tikkun, that there is a repair that needs to be made in the world because some people are not being treated the same way as others, we have to actually get out there and do something. So I'm really excited to learn and sing Praying with Our Feet, Micha Mocha, on the song sheets.
And this is how the chorus goes. I'll sing the line and then you repeat it because it's sung twice in the chorus. We'll be praying with our feet, praying with our feet. We'll be praying with our feet. We'll be praying with our feet, praying with our feet. We'll be praying with our feet. Come on, you can sing it. We'll be praying with our feet, praying with our feet. We'll be praying step by step, mile by mile. We're not there yet, we're gonna take a while. Block by block and street by street, the path of justice is not complete. Hill by hill, through the veil, though shadows fall, light will prevail. Through pain and tears, through rain and snow, to the mountaintop we go. We'll be praying with our feet, praying with our feet. We'll be praying with our feet. We'll be praying with our feet, praying with our feet. We'll be praying with our feet. Hand in hand, arm in arm, when we march together, we march strong. Bridge by bridge and town by town, like a rolling train, it won't slow down. We'll be praying with our feet, praying with our feet. We'll be praying with our feet. We'll be praying with our feet till the work's complete. We'll be praying with our feet. Together we can, together we will. Keep the faith, we're gonna get there still. Together we can, together we must march again with hope, faith, and trust. Mi chamocha ba'elim, Adonai, mi kamocha neda b'kodesh, Norah tehilot, Osef eleh, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed.
Amen. And our fourth blessing connected to the Shema, the recitation of the Shema, is Hashkivenu, a prayer for peace, page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu b'shalom, Amideinu shomrenu, Ephraim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu b'shalom, Amideinu shomrenu, Ephraim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu b'shalom, Amideinu shomrenu,
We'll talk later. Sorry. In place of Vishamru this evening, I wanted to add a special prayer for Pride Shabbat. This is a blessing for Pride Shabbat that was originally written by 2 rabbis and a psychologist, Rabbi Joshua Zlachauer, Rabbi Erica Steelman, and Dr. Gloria Becker. I found it on Ritual Well. It was updated, I think, a year ago. I'm not exactly sure when it was written, but it was specifically written for rabbis and other clergy and lay people in congregations to recite at Pride Shabbat. And I think it was especially written with keeping in mind people like rabbis like myself. So I decided to really go all out, but I didn't wear the pride tie-dye pride shirt that I made for myself, which isn't as good as this one, that said on the back, proud parent, proud rabbi, proud person. So, and I know that this is something that Rabbi Lebo, that we share in common, and also our speaker, Andrew Kagan, that we share in common, is that we have children. I mean, now mine is an adult child. I guess all of ours are adult children, but they're still our children. And it doesn't matter how, is that rain? It doesn't matter, Mazel Dik. It doesn't matter, how many students I had that I helped over the years, and how much just as a human being it meant to me to work for inclusion and to create safe spaces for other people's children. It changes. It changes when it's your own child. And last year, in, I guess, Pride in Seattle last year, she got me this, it says professional ally. I guess now there are buttons this company makes, professional this, professional that. So I have my professional ally button also. And this really spoke to me because it is a blessing that we can all say. Every human wants to say this. And so I chose to include it at this point in the service as our kavanah before we stand up, as our personal intention, that we're setting an intention, that this is the kind of world that we want to live in. This is the kind of community we want to be in before we get up and make our kavanah, our intention to pray the Amidah before God. Makor HaChayim, source of life, you have blessed each of us with your spirit. In your wisdom, you have made each of us a unique treasure. Ma'ayan Chayenu, wellspring of our lives, cause us to flow with courage, strength, and compassion to live our stories openly, proudly, and joyfully. Shechina Shel Ahava, presence of love, you embrace us with your love. May we embrace ourselves, our partners, our lovers, our friends, our children, our dear ones with the power of your Ahava Rabbah, your unending, boundless love. Ruach HaShalom, spirit of peace and wholeness, open our eyes to the gifts and blessings we offer and receive from each other. Open our hearts to welcome each other fully and truly. Open our hands to embrace, to support, to lift each other, begila uverina, bishalom uvereut, with joy, with song, with peace, and with deep friendship. Today, on this Shabbat, as we celebrate renewal, pride, community, let us walk together with strength, compassion, and love. Nivarech et ma'ayan chayenu, tekadesh utisameach otanu ve'et haShabbat. We bless you, wellspring of our lives. May you fill us and Shabbat with joy and sanctity. Amen. And we rise in body or in spirit. Adonai Svatai Tiftach, page 46. We will sing the Amidah together out loud through Atah Kadosh, written by our very own Blake Singer. And finally, on my last Shabbat here, we have the words. They're in the song sheet. But I have them memorized already on the second side of the song sheet.
Adonai sifotativ taku fia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohe Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohe Avraham, Elohe Yitzhak, Elohe Yaakov, Elohe Sarah, Elohe Rivka, Elohe Rachel, Elohe Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Hasei Avot V'imachot, U'mei Gula Lifnei V'nechem, Leman Shemo B'yakava, Melech Otzir Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Zrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atarav L'Koshia, Marid Hatal, Mechokel Chayim Behesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rakamim Rabim, Sohomef Noflim B'Rofei Choholim, Umatir Asurim, Mekayeh Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'agevurot, Umido Mehelach, Melech Me'mit Mekayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanatav L'chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh, V'shimcha Kadosh, V'kdoshim b'chol yom, Hallelujah Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You are holy, and your name is holy. Those who strive to be holy, declare your glory day by day. Blessed is our God. Blessed is the one. O world ablaze with splendor. Atah Kadosh. V'shimcha Kadosh. V'kdoshim b'chol yom. Hallelujah Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue silently with Avodat Halev, prayers of the heart, or prayers that are the words on the page. When you have completed your silent meditation, you may be seated.
You can find the words Jim Eina Nili Mili on the song sheet. if I don't stand up for myself, then who will stand for me? If I don't know me, who's gonna show me? And if I don't stand up for another, who is my brother? How will I hold my head up high? Imehina nili mili, Ushayani leats mi maani, Imlo akshavi matai, Imlo akshavi atai. Imehina nili mili, Ushayani leats mi maani, Imlo akshavi matai, Imlo akshavi matai. And you know I've got your back if trouble should find you. I will remind you that I am behind you. Could you please watch out for me if I go astray now? Help me make it okay now. Show me the way. If not now, when chapters might never come again. Whoa, 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 whoa. La 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 la. Imehina nili mili, Ushayani leats mi maani, Imlo akshavi matai, Imlo akshavi matai. Imehina nili mili, Ushayani leats mi maani, Imlo akshavi matai, Imlo akshavi matai.
I love that one. I love Beth Schaefer. Yes? Yes. Those lines are exactly what Beth Schaefer wrote into the song. Thank you, Addie. If I am not for myself, you know, who am I, right? Who will be for me? If I'm only for myself, what am I? Not a great person. V'im lo achshav, and if not now, when? If not now, when? Now is when. Thank you. And Beth Schaefer, if you don't know, is the cantorial soloist at Temple Sinai, and we were friends before I realized, and then I taught her daughter at Weber, but at some point, it was definitely at some Sojourn event, or maybe it was a pride thing, we discovered that we went to the same high school. But she's, I think, a few years younger than I am. And yeah, and anyway, yes, anyway, because there are only 10 Jews in the whole world and the rest is done with smoke and mirrors. It's not my line, that's Elliot's back. And it's true. All right, for a moment, we're gonna have a sober moment. I'll read the names of all those in our community who are in need of healing, and then we will sing together the Mishaberach for healing, Debbie Friedman's version on page 253. So tonight we are keeping in mind Harvey Adelsky, Sherry Alexander, Gary Atkins, Richard Barker, Betty Berlin, Lynn Birmingham, Bruce Cohen, Isadora Cohen, Nicholas Catrone, Mary Davis, Stephen Despens, Mitch Earl, Carrie Ehrlich, Greg Fine, Aaron and Roz Feingold, Laura Florence, Margaret Fogel, Bobby Fredrickson, Lauren Friedman, Max Gans, Nancy Gay, Margie Glazer, Tom Gorgon, Rick Hack, George Campbell Hamilton, Henry Haney, Frederick Herman, Braden Hink, Jack Itzkowitz, David Jacobs, Laura Jacoby, Maria Javier, John Jenkins, Linda Jenkins, Shannon Jenkins, Lila Kaminer, Jackie Capstein, Marilyn Krasnov, Michelle Kringle, Sylvia Cook, Cindy Levine, Ken Levy, Marcia Levy, Brenda Lewis, Dorothy London, Liz Lyman, Lisa Macklin, Paul Melnick, Esta Mitchell, Lowell Morrow, Greg Mosher, Simone Neiman, Arthur Newman, Jacob Newman, Joyce Newman, Ray Phillips, Lynn Prisant, Kathy Rasnick, Marjorie Romes, Deborah Rowan, Norman Rosenblatt, Sherry Rosenblum, Barry Savage, Patty Savage, Lisa Schaefer, Brian Schneider, David Schwartz, Lee Sexton, Nancy Shallett, Randy Shapiro, Gail Siegel, Carter Silk, Nicole Aronson Silverman, Debbie Singerman, David Skolny, Arthur Slutza, Linda Spitzer, Kathy Stokes, Randy Suchke, Todd Trainer, Brenda Wadler, Dr. John Sid Williams, Dr. Walter Wolf, Faye Yeager, Yarden Meir Ben Yitzchak, Paul Zell, Rena Zwieben, Aharon Ben Yocheved, Leah Bat Mendel, Yona Betzalel Ben Chava Shoshana, Yona Brief, Zelda Itta Bat Malka, Umira Shoshana Bat Rivka. If there are any names that you want to add, please add them now.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
And finally, we turn to the blue cards in our Sidurim and our prayer books for a prayer for peace in Israel during wartime. Rock and Redeemer of the people of Israel, guardian of the covenant, bless and protect the state of Israel and all of her inhabitants. A land established with liberty, justice, and by the prophets of Israel. Open the hearts and minds of all the leaders of the nation, her sons and her daughters, to guide them in the paths of peace and justice, with true strength and wisdom. Strengthen the hands of those who defend and protect our holy land, and crown their efforts with success, that they may establish your reign of righteousness, free from all oppression and fear. May the work of their hands be established, and the words of your prophets be fulfilled. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, nor shall they learn war anymore. Amen. Okay. Wow, this is my favorite part. Uh-oh, where'd I put it? There it is. So it's a special honor and privilege. I'm going to make this space clean for you now. To invite Andrew Kagan to join me. And he's got some props, and so I'm moving all of my stuff. So come while I'm saying nice things about you, you'll get yourself set up, and I'm going to embarrass you up until the rabbis say up until a tenth I can praise you before it gets excessive. So I just want to say that Andrew was one of the first people that I met with just about a year ago, right around when I was getting started here, and he reached out to me. So I'll tell you kind of my experience of knowing you then was that we were going to just have only a year together, and we knew that, but that it was like meeting an old friend, and that we were going to do some things together. And then almost, 10, 11 months later, when I found out that your rabbi, Jonathan Adler, was he's like on the tour, I don't know, he's at Beit Simchat Torah or something. He's in New York City. I said, what am I going to do? Who am I going to have speak, at Pride Shabbat? And of course we thought of you, and you said yes without hesitation. So Andrew Kagan is going to speak. His topic is From Acceptance to Celebration. He is, by his own description, committed to Judaism and has been active in conservative congregations his entire life. And I did find that out about you the very first time we met at Congregation Sons of Israel in Briarcliff Manor, New York, where I used to live in Westchester County. He was a member of the Ritual Committee, the Synagogue 2000 Committee. He started and led the Website and Technology Committee, a lot of committees you hear, and he spent years as a board of trustee, vice president, and ultimately president of the congregation. He also co-founded their Pride Committee and represented CSI on the county-wide Mosaic Committee to chair experiences and best practices in supporting queer Jews and allies of all denominations. After retiring in 2019, so he did that all while he was, Still young, but working. I don't know how you did all of this. I can't even get myself prepared for a Friday night service. So he and his wife Carol moved here to Marietta, where they joined Congregation Etz Chaim, and he quickly joined the board there and also co-founded the Etz Chaim Pride Alliance, which is how we met through the Pride Alliance, and he has happily marched in multiple New York Pride parades with his daughter Dara, who lives in Brooklyn, and with her spouse. He has also marched in 2 Atlanta Pride parades, and we marched together in this past year's parade, and I'm sorry that we won't be able to march together in the fall, but Andrew will be there in the fall, and I will be there in spirit, but from New Jersey. It is a pleasure to hand over the bima to you and not take another moment of your time. And I don't have my watch because I already packed it. So you have as much time as you want. I have no idea what time it is.
I timed this. It's only 2 hours. It's fine.
This is what happens when you invite guest speakers every week.
That's right.
I'm going to go sit with the twirlers.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Oh, come on. You can do better than that. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Much better.
Yeah.
I mean, here we are sharing Pride Shabbat together. How great is that? When my wife Carol and I moved down here from New York 5 years ago, I wasn't sure whether Pride Shabbat was even possible here in Georgia. Hopeful, yes. Positive? Nuh-uh. It is wonderful that you have made Pride Shabbat a part of your annual calendar. That means a lot to me and hopefully to you as well. Why should we observe Pride Shabbat every year? Let's break that down. Shabbat is a time each week for us to rest, reflect, renew, and recommit. As Jews, we recognize and believe deeply in the importance of studying Torah as a lifelong obligation, commitment, and opportunity. Over the course of the year, we reread the same 5 books of Moses because we understand that every year we have new life lessons to learn. Throughout history, we as Jews have lived in good times and bad, in safer times and scarier times. Yet regardless of how wonderful or scary things are in the world, we gain strength and renewal of faith by observing, celebrating, and studying together. In that same spirit, we should celebrate Pride Shabbat each year. It's an opportunity to gather, celebrate, renew, reinforce, and recommit. For queer Jews and for queer folk in general, there have been better times and scarier times. Yet regardless of how wonderful or scary things are in the world, By celebrating Pride Month, and for queer Jews and their families and allies, celebrating Pride Shabbat in particular, we gain strength and renewal of faith by observing, celebrating, and studying together. So why is this important to me? It's simple. Carol and I are the parents of Dara, our daughter, who identifies as cisgender, queer, and, oh, by the way, Jewish. And she is married to a Black, Southern Baptist, transgender person who recently changed from using they-them pronouns to using they-he pronouns, as well as legally changing their name. Race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, our daughter hit the non-traditional super trifecta. There is so much to celebrate in our daughter and child-in-law's love for each other. There's a new word. In July of 2020, they got married for the first time. Due to COVID, they were married in Prospect Park in Brooklyn, where they still live, and we and most of the invited guests attended via Zoom. But the really fun part was in May of 2022, when they got married for the second time, this time in Savannah, Georgia. Lots of friends and family. They honored traditions from both sides of the family. They literally jumped the broom, which is the way African Americans signified their marriage in enslavement times. And after they jumped the broom, they broke the glass. And there were puppets and drag queens, for real. In fact, at the Oneg, I have pictures I'd be more than happy to show you. We danced our shoes off. It was a wedding for the ages, an expression of telling and retelling their own stories, reinforcing their love for each other. Much like the way we retell and reinforce our own stories as a Jewish people. Being able to celebrate a gay wedding, a Pride Shabbat, or marching in a Pride parade should not be taken for granted. I've been listening to podcasts recounting the fight for gay rights in the 70s, stories of the Stonewall Inn riots in Greenwich Village, the assassination of Supervisor Harvey Milk in San Francisco, a nice Jewish boy, by the way, Anita Bryant leading the Save the Children campaign to repeal a local ordinance prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation. It is easy to forget the many battles fought against unseemingly impossible odds in the face of fear and uncertainty that led to later legislative and judicial victories in support of non-discrimination, gay rights, marriage equality, and Title IX anti-discrimination law. Today, there are battles in state legislatures around the country over anti-trans legislation. It is easy to get discouraged. To succeed, it takes faith. Faith in the face of fear and uncertainty is the lesson we learn from this week's Torah portion, Shalach. Having led the people out of Egypt, Moses sends 12 spies, one from each tribe, to the land of Canaan to scope it out, before he is ready to lead the Israelites into the land. Upon their return, most of the spies report that while they'd found a land flowing with milk and honey, they tell Moses they fear defeat if they enter the land of Canaan. They tell him the cities are fortified and strong, and that the people they saw there were of great size, giants, and the spies felt themselves seen as grasshoppers by their enemies and ultimately by themselves. They begged Moses to take the people back to Egypt. Of the 12 spies, only Caleb and Joshua had faith that with God's support, the warriors and giants could be conquered. Caleb says to the people, "Let us surely go up, and we shall gain possession of it, for we shall surely overcome it." God is angry with the people who have lost faith, but because Caleb and Joshua have demonstrated faith and courage, God will bring them to the land of Canaan. The non-believers will not make it out of the desert. What does it mean when Caleb says to go up? It means moving confidently, but patiently toward a destination, acknowledging that we carry with us a vision for the future, our memories of the past, and the varied emotions that occupy our present: fear, anxiety, curiosity, excitement, and hope. In her book, The Torah, A Woman's Commentary, Cantor Josie Wolf writes, "As long as we see ourselves merely as grasshoppers up against giants, we will set ourselves up for failure. If we want to create anything new and enter into the promised land, then we have no choice but to leap into the unknown, to believe in ourselves, and to trust in God's faith in us. So that's the lesson. Don't let your fear keep you from moving forward. There are many different ways to do that. It's important to be out, loud, and proud as Jews, as members of the queer community, and as allies. Last October, Rabbi Gottfried, as she mentioned, and I marched in the Atlanta Pride Parade, along with members of the Metro Atlanta Jewish community. I wore, time for the prop, my Eitz Chaim Pride Alliance t-shirt. And last week, 18 of us from Eitz Chaim joined hundreds of queer folk and allies from all around Metro Atlanta to celebrate Pride Night at Truist Park as the Braves took on the Detroit Tigers. There was a fun pregame party and, wait for it, Pride t-shirts. That's right, play with pride. At the pregame party, the Braves CEO proudly announced that this was the 14th year that the Braves were celebrating Pride Night, and then handed over a check for $20,000 to Out Georgia. And the Braves won. Yay! If you're a Braves fan. Having formed pride committees in New York and here in Georgia, I know from experience that Pride Shabbat doesn't just happen. It takes work. It takes commitment. Most of all, it takes faith. Faith in the face of resistance, faith to overcome fear, and persevere. This is not something we do alone. As they say, it takes a village or a temple. We gain strength and courage from working together and from taking action. There are many ways to show support. At Eitz Chaim, our Pride Alliance is dedicated to supporting our queer members of all ages and their families by educating our membership about the importance of allyship, answering questions, providing educational opportunities, social activities, and working with local, regional, and national organizations like Sojourn and Keshet to raise awareness. In the future, we hope to meet with other temples, synagogues, and Jewish organizations, including yours, to show support and share ideas. We read in Genesis that we are each created b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God. That's really all you need to know, that God created each of their people in their image. See what I just did there? I gave God they, them pronouns. I believe this is consistent and makes sense. We have to look no further than the Shema. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Not one man or one woman, but one and all, encompassing every type of person created in their image. That is not the simple binary of man or woman. It's the entire spectrum of being for God and for us. Thank you, Rabbi, for inviting me to speak to the congregation this evening. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
You're welcome.
I'm going to miss you.
Likewise.
I just wanted to let the congregation know, as I mentioned to you earlier when we were in the office, that a donation has been made to Sojourn in your honor, because we really appreciate your being here, and I hope, even when I have left the building, that I know that Cindy will be in touch with you, and also that there are some of y'all who are here who might be interested in connecting with our neighbors up Roswell Road and doing some more things. I went to a program, when was that, January? You had a Sojourn came in and did a program, and it's nice when we get together and sort of beyond our four walls and work together on things. And I know that there will be people that will be marching in Pride, so we can meet at MARTA like we did last year. So thank you for all of the efforts. Thank you for bringing New York to Georgia and for sharing and do share the pictures. I've seen some of them, the ones that were on your phone, and they're fabulous. So we'll see you at Kiddush. Thanks again. All right, let's bring it home. Shall we bring it home? Okay. All right. So we'll rise in body or in spirit. Turn to page 282, Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latekenu laleot zer bereshit, shelo asanager yeharatzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam kelkenu kachem, v'gor aleinu kechohamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei Melech, Malkei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, Lemelech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo,
You may be seated for a moment. Before reciting the Mourner's Kaddish, I will read the names of the loved ones, our loved ones, whose yahrzeits are observed this week. And if you are here for a yahrzeit of a loved one, or if you are in mourning because you were recently bereaved, please rise when I read your loved one's name. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294. This week we are remembering Elizabeth Burchenko, Rosalind Brenner, Eve Brenowitz, Florence Feldsot, Lily Fuhr, Norton Goldstein, David Green, Jack Hausman, Gussie Jason, Gail Kaufman, Andre Kessler, Alexander Levin, Hazel Lewis, Louise Light, Charles Henry Marks, Henry Meininger, Sarah Marion Meal, Samuel Pickles, Phyllis Rosenblatt, Harold Sarles, Beatrice Sarvetnek, Seymour Smigrod, David Solomon, David Max Spanger, Suzanne Stewart, and Rose Zale. And on our 11-month Kaddish list, Henry Meininger, Bridget Paon, Dennis Lebo, Sandy Fay, Stephen Eckber, Ellen Marcia Katz, Sidney Schneider, Melvin Kiner, Francis Reef, Sandra Slutza, Mary Thoburn, Erica Goldstone, James Corley, David Reckman, Judith Siegel, Norman Spitzer, Joanne Hankins, Helene Holtzman, Barbara Rubin Pizik, Mark Newerman, Edith Meininger, Jerry Livingston, Bob Kershaw, and Alan Eisen. If you are not already standing, please rise in body or in spirit as we together recite the Mourner's Kaddish and support those who are in mourning. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shnei Rabbah, B'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyamechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam olmeo maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiram b'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. And you may be seated. I forgot, we're not only celebrating pride and love and being out and proud, we are also celebrating love and anniversaries. So if it is your anniversary, and it's a very long list, by the way. It's on that same page. Look at that. June 28th, anniversaries. It's like 3/4 of a page. So some of you surely are here and would like to come down. I know there's no chocolate, but you'd like to come down in front and tell us who you are and when your wedding anniversary is. Everyone's not here? Everyone's too shy? It's already after 9 o'clock and I have no idea because I packed my watch? No? Okay. Ah, that was 2 weeks ago. When was birthday Shabbat? Well, happy birthday, though. Yeah, okay, excellent. All right, well, the names, I think, of everybody who's celebrating or were in the mitzvah and memories, they're not in the program. Okay, then it's a pleasure. Oh, and a privilege, and I'm a little sad, I'm a little verklempt, to invite Sandy Davis, President of our Board of Trustees, to make some announcements. Yeah. You still got a whole year.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you to Andrew Kagan for sharing your words and your props and being part of our community tonight. Thank you very much.
And Carol.
TKE's online summer garage sale and auction is almost over. Go to kolemeth.net to get the link to see all the items and place your final bids. There's electronics, kids items, collectibles, housewares, and more. Some items are as low as a couple of dollars, and many items are brand new. The auction closes on Sunday, so get your bids in. Sunday, July 7th at 4 p.m. here at TKE, Amy Throp will lead the combined choirs of Cobb Summer Singers and Zmria Festival Atlanta in Donald McCullough's Holocaust Cantata, a combination of choir, soloist, cello, piano, and narrators. Scan your QR code in your handout or visit kolemeth.net for details and to purchase tickets. Please join us after services for our rainbow-themed oneg, sponsored by an anonymous donor, and thank you to Amy Sweet for making all of the cake pops. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And I had, you might as well stay standing. We're basically going to leave in a minute. But I had asked Rabbi Lebo some weeks ago to give me a blessing. But instead, we had lunch today, and I felt incredibly blessed. And it's been a pleasure. And so I'm gonna take the rabbi's privilege and just say the last word. I want to say a special thank you to Cindy and Rachel and Blake, who really kind of planned tonight's service and just told me what to show up and do. And another thank you again to Andrew and his wife Carol, who joined our community this evening. And just thank you to all of you who've just the outpouring of love, not just in the month of June, has been amazing. I will be hanging around, much to my son Jonah's dismay, for a while at Oneg tonight because there are some of you I haven't seen in a while, and I want to make sure to get all those goodbyes in. But it's been a real privilege to serve with you, and Rabbi especially. And when I walked into the office tonight, and I say the office because I had cleaned it out already, I saw "Welcome, Rabbi," and a whole bunch of like signatures and this really happy poster. And for a minute I said, "What?" And then I realized. So I just want to say how delighted I am that in just a few more days, we had such a short time together and it went by like this. But it's gonna feel like nothing. I'll be gone, and you are already ready to welcome Rabbi Foster. He's wonderful. I wish you so much blessing in the year ahead. And it's good that you sat down, and it's good because I remember before Kiddush, yes, do you put that on there? Page 345. And this was, I think, Blake's edition, that it would be nice. Was it Blake's or Cindy's? I don't know. I had nothing to do with it, really. I had nothing to do with the service this evening. It was Blake. That the Tfilat HaDerech, which the choir sang for me a few weeks ago, this is such a beautiful, Debbie Friedman's Tfilat HaDerech, a beautiful prayer for our leaving as a closing song, that we wish everybody to be blessed as that we go on our ways.
May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. May we be sheltered by the wings of peace. May we be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find its way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen. 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 May this be our blessing. Amen.
We rise for Kiddush and Motzi, and please remember to bring your Sidurim back. Vivian's already on her way. Thank you. Thank you to all the workers. And if you would like to be here to join in the blessing of the Motzi, we had like no kids for a few weeks, so come on down.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen. Ready?
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Happy Pride.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's Andrew's. Okay.